Good morning, Collective and Soul Tribe. Today is April the 30th, okay? It is Thursday. It is Baby Friday today, technically. All right, one more day, and, we're closer and closer to the weekend, okay, guys? Not sure if you guys can hear the manifestation music in the background playing, but you guys know that I enjoy and love sharing, my energy when it comes to manifestations, and hopefully you guys can manifest whatever it is that you guys are desiring based off the vibes, right? The vibes, the energy, things like that, okay? Now, as you guys notice, I'm home. Okay, but don't be surprised if you do see future videos of me just randomly popping up in my car because, like I said, based on the situation that's going down, I just got to do what I got to do. So right now it's kind of quiet. So I said to myself, you know what, let me try to do this reading as early as possible while everybody's, either at work or doing something. So let's get started, okay, guys? Another thing too, today is the full moon. All right, today is the full moon. Some of you that know that I posted on my blog obviously a few weeks ago or a week ago about the full moon and how you guys can utilize the energy of this full moon that is happening. Okay, so if you guys want to check that out, check it out on my website. You guys can, see all that information in the description. But I thought I would mention it to anybody who hasn't gone to my website and hasn't seen it. Even if you don't care to go on my website, that's fine. There's other people out there who post a lot of their content as well. As you guys know, like, I really don't care in that sense. I'm just sharing knowledge and information based on what I know. And based on basically what I see. So it's like, basically, what's the point of withholding information if you can share it with other people? But I find it easier on my website because you guys can sit down, kind of read it a little bit, make your own notes, do whatever, versus on social media, everything's kind of really quick or fast. So yeah, take what resonates. Even if you see other people doing it, that is okay too, because they could be sharing other information that maybe I've missed or I didn't mention, right? I did hear something outside, so hopefully I can do this reading, hopefully, without any disruptions or any distractions or anything like that. But yeah, you guys know that once the weather gets nicer, I will be going outside a lot more. But anyways, let's get started. Let's see what you need to know. Again, it is the full moon today, so definitely take what resonates with you whenever you see this when it comes to the full moon energy. Even when it comes to transmuting that energy too, you guys can check out, that on the website as well, because I did put information on what you can do after the fact of the full moon, okay? Some of you guys may not care about the full moon, but just know that it affects everybody differently in different ways, and that could be very significant as well, all right? So let's get started. Like I said, hopefully I can do my videos without any distractions, any disruptions, or any like random weird energy, because like I said, I don't live alone. I live with other people, and unfortunately, like I said in my video yesterday, not everybody respects the kind of work that I do. So it is what it is, right? And I hope that resonates with other readers that are out there too, other people who do divination or readings and things like that, dealing with situations like that. Despite the situation, if people don't respect your craft or respect your work, your line of work, what you do, especially if you articulate yourself or you express yourself or explain yourself, you know what? Continue to put what you need to put out there, right? It's not easy for some of you guys. I can understand that, but if you love something that you enjoy doing, doesn't matter if it's divination, music, art, painting, whatever it is. If you enjoy something that you do and genuinely it makes you happy, or it basically just fulfills you, and you have other energies around you that don't respect your craft or don't respect you or respect what you do, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, that is just projection on their side or their end. You continue to do what makes you happy. So like I said before, if you have to go outside and do what you need to do, then do that. If you have to find a quiet place, especially if you draw your own art, your own do your own poetry, things like that, go to a library if you have to, right? That's if there's a library in your area and you can go. But trying to find different outlets or different other locations and places that will allow you to be able to express yourself and not only just express yourself, but being able to be your authentic self and doing what you like to do, right? Like I said, not everybody's going to understand your path. Not everybody's going to understand your purpose, because unfortunately, some people are just here like the Matrix. Okay, some people are NPCs. Not everybody follows their path. Not everybody follows their purpose. And because of that, a lot of times people project a lot of their issues onto other people, right? It's almost like saying that because I can't be a celebrity, like an example, it's like because I can't be a celebrity, now I'm going to make everybody's life a living hell because I didn't get to, do my dream. You know what I mean? Like, I just find that so weird, And so you could be dealing with people in your energy around you that, try to stop your process, right? Your path. So take what resonates with that, you guys. Not everybody understands your path, and this is coming from somebody who's dealing with it right now, okay? And it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very aware. That's why I don't really care what people think or say about me. But at the same time, it's just like, it gets annoying too, It gets to a point where it's like, everybody should be able to share a space, and there should be that, that availability of being able to do your homework or study or do whatever. And that too, some people live with other people too, that you could be going to school and you could be studying for something, or you could be, being prepared for something like an exam or whatever the case is. And you could have people in your energy that just don't care, maybe because they didn't go to school, or maybe they didn't finish school, or maybe they didn't do anything when it comes to school, right? So there's a lot of projection when it comes to other people's insecurities and what they have not accomplished or what they haven't done. And it's almost like watching the collective and seeing the collective strive and be successful, you know what I mean, in different ways, right? So we have Page of Swords energy. This is the first card, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is about embracing your unique perspectives, right? Same thing I was just saying before this reading. It's something about being communicative, being very alert, mentally agile. Okay, with the number 11, this talks about your groups, friendships, okay, social awareness, okay, same thing I was just talking about just now, right? So there is something about this where when it comes to the future, when it comes to your gifts, and when it comes to you attracting certain people, or, being around certain people, that could be very significant. Even some of you guys, when it comes to Page of Swords, this could be someone who's really young. Now, young is perspective, right? You could be in your 20s, your 30s, okay, versus somebody who's like in their 60s and 70s. So if you're in your 60s and 70s, you could be dealing with somebody younger than you. That could be the example. If not, you could be in your 20s to 30s. Some of you guys, middle 30s, 40s. So take what resonates with this. But this is talking about somebody who's really young. And this is about communication, okay? So you could be communicating with people around you at this time when it comes to Two of Wands. This is about planning, right? Some of you guys, when it comes to leaving your comfort zone and making the first steps, when it comes to 11, your intuition is telling you to move away from certain situations, not because of just moving away from them, but because it's almost like the universe knows that your intentions are very pure, right? When you have pure intentions, you will always attract people who have ill intentions towards you. Doesn't matter what the situation is. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be coworkers, it could be anybody, okay? It could be even in relationships, okay? But when it comes to your energy, you guys are very curious about learning, or just being curious about life and learning about life, expanding, growing, right? Learning from your mistakes, understanding who you are, understanding what you like and you don't like, and understanding why people kind of are the way they are. So some of you guys could be into psychology too, but there is something about the number 2 when it comes to partnerships. Now, this could be you and spirit partnering up together. This could be you and someone else, okay, partnering up together when it comes to you taking risk and moving forward, okay? This is about planning and making a decision. Even if this decision is hard, there's something about your Mars in Aries. Even if you don't have Mars in Aries, there's something about taking action, right? Your energy with this number 2 talks about your finances. It talks about business, okay? It talks about, like I said, your desires, your daily routines, self-care, priorities. What is a priority to you? And that could be something that you guys are working towards, where Right now, a lot of people in your energy may not like the fact that you are focusing on your craft, whatever that craft is. This could be focusing on moving to a new country, focusing on moving to a new state, a new province, a new city, a new job, okay? There's whatever this is, you guys are taking action. There's something about divine masculine, like taking action, right? Even if you are not the divine masculine, you could be the divine feminine, but there is something about taking action or needing to take action when it comes to your decisions, right? So some of you guys could be planning a lot of things right now, even when it comes to like partnerships and harmony. That too could be something where you guys are receiving support or trusting in the support that you guys are receiving. Even when it comes to being in alignment, that is also significant. So take what resonates with that, okay? We have Five of Wands, right? So Saturn in Leo, okay, with the number five. Five talks about, you know, self-expression, right? Talks about joy. So when it comes to fifth house, you could be very joyful, or you could be a very self-expressive type of person, whether this is through your hobbies or interests, whether this is through your creativity, whatever this is, there's something about you being able to go through whatever challenges, or say people are trying to compete with you, or there's something to do with competitions and things like that. You go through these, you know, type of energies, and you allow yourself to grow from that with the fifth house. Okay, five talks about change. So just like how you guys were dealing with a situation, say this is a workplace or a home situation or even friend groups, right? You're taking that initiative and you're moving on, right? You're taking a risk by moving on. And because you're moving on, you're basically releasing whatever tension or whatever egos that people have when it comes to your energy. It's like, you don't care what people think or what people want to say about you. But one thing you're not going to do is you're not going to entertain people's bad behaviors, okay? Or entertain their patterns, or entertain, you know, certain things that they do. So you moving away from this, you know, situation and taking a risk when it comes to passion and holding like the world, that is significant. Even when it comes to how you express yourself, especially with solar plexus, okay, Saturn talks about, you know, responsibility and discipline, right? And there could be something that right now, what you're doing, because you're moving away or moving forward in your life or moving away from this type of energy, right? There's something about you taking responsibility and being very disciplined at this time when it comes to your energy. Okay, Five of Wands is like passion and fire, right? So again, because there's something to do with obstacles or dealing with challenges or people just trying to compete in your energy or bring competition in your energy like unnecessarily, while you could be just minding your business and just working on, you know, your craft or working at your job or, you know, doing certain things, right? So take what resonates with that too. It's like you could be dealing with people that all they know is drama. All they know is drama. All they know is, you know, I'm the one that does this, you know, like this ego, right? Or a lot of people are speaking through their ego, like they're taking their experiences or their traumas, and it's almost like, say for example with celebrity news and things like that, it's like people are taking their traumas or their past situations or whatever they have going on, and it's like they're comparing other people's problems. It's like a lot of people don't know that comparison is a thief of joy, right? So whatever I'm doing, why would you compare yourself to me about what I'm doing? Especially if you've been on this planet for how many years. It's like a lot of people don't realize that they had a lot of time to do what they wanted to do, but God forbid the collective does what they want to do that makes them happy. It's almost like people try to stop your path, right? And that could be the energy too that you guys could be dealing with when it comes to this full moon. It's like you guys are releasing a lot of things during this full moon energy, and this is the perfect time to release it, especially the full moon transitioning into Scorpio energy. Okay, so that's very powerful. We have the King of Swords, right? with the number 14. So when it comes to you guys making logical decisions, okay, or even when it comes to like reasonings, you could be dealing, like I said, with people with the number 5, right? There is something about receiving justice about a situation because 1 and 4 equals 5, right? This, like I said, could be about your self-expression and how you show up. Okay, you speak with authority, you speak with truth, and there's also this energy for some of you guys where you show up as somebody who has leadership and integrity, right? A lot of people lack integrity, a lot of people lack morals, okay? Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are. A lot of times people grow up and think that they know everything, and you could be somebody who doesn't act like you know everything. You just like to be curious. You learn, you read. That's another thing. A lot of people don't read, okay? Some people need to learn to pick up a book and open a book and learn something new, okay? And now this is not an attack to the collective, but this is going to be resonating for people who actually enjoy being very open to other people's cultures, other races, other groups, okay? It's almost like me, right? How can I judge a group of people that I don't know, especially if it's a certain culture, if in the islands where my parents grew up, right? The motto is out of one, we are many people. So I find it very weird and I find it very strange when, you know, people assume that you can't relate to other people culturally, right? Or by, you know, food and things like that because they assume that you come from a specific place. But a lot of people don't realize that in Jamaica, there are Muslim people too. Okay, there are Muslim people in Jamaica, there are Taino people in Jamaica. There are so many different cultures, so many different religions, so many different races, so many different things. It's like basically a boiling pot, right? Like how America is sometimes, right? And you could be dealing with people where because you grew up in certain environments where it allows you to understand people, now as an adult, for some of you guys don't judge people's cultures or the food that they eat or how they show up because you know what it's like to grow up around different people rather than other people who are ignorant and they don't know what it's like to grow up with other people. They will make comments that are very ignorant or based off ego, right? And for some of you guys, when it comes to your standards, you have high standards, right? So even when it comes to your intellect, your authority, okay, the way that you strategize certain situations, the way that you move, the way that you do things is very significant. It's almost like you don't do things to people unless it's done to you. So basically the saying, treat people the way that you want to be treated. So if you're going to act like a donkey, then I'm going to treat you like a donkey. You know what I'm saying? Collective, like, again, this is the energy, right? Yeah, Knight of Swords, okay? So like I said, Knight of Swords energy, there's something about acting with speed and precision. Like I said, you guys are, you know, ambitious. You guys are determined. There's something about 12th house as well when it comes to spirituality and healing. You see a lot of things that are hidden that a lot of people want to know why and how. Okay, so even if someone doesn't tell you their motives or they don't tell you like what they're gonna do or what they're gonna say, it's almost like you already pick up on it, you already sense it before it can happen. And that is why a lot of people don't like your energy because of the fact that you know, right? You know, you're whole within yourself, right? There's something about the world as well. You are whole within yourself. You don't care if you have a group of people behind you or just you by yourself, okay? There's something about being able to stand 10 toes on everything that you say. Doesn't matter what it is that you're talking about, you will stand 10 toes down on what you truly believe in when it comes to injustice and when it comes to people being unfair, right? There's also another video that I reposted, I think it was yesterday, and it was very funny because I mentioned this in one of my readings as well. Okay, I mentioned in one of my readings yesterday that a lot of people who are either older than the collective, it doesn't matter how old you are, like you could be in your 40s, right? And dealing with somebody older than you, right? There's something about older generations too when it comes to respect. And I reposted a video about this yesterday too, where a lot of generations feel like because they're older than you, they demand respect. And a lot of people don't realize that our generation doesn't work like that. Okay, respect is actually earned, it's not given. So if you feel like you can speak to me however you want, or the collective however you want, right? We're gonna look at you and say to you, what is your problem, right? Because we don't do that to you, okay, collectively, right? But for some reason, there's something about that too where you are content by yourself. You are content if you meet people, you're content. Doesn't matter where you are in your life, you're content, right? So the number 21 is very significant. Like I said, 12 and 21, there's something about angel number 1221, 1212, or just mirrored numbers, right? You mirror a lot of people that forces them to reflect on their own inner selves and heal themselves, right? Like I said, a lot of people don't want to heal a lot of things in their life, okay, their personal lives, emotionally, physically, whatever traumas, right? A lot of times people like to project that onto the collective. And while the collective is healing, going within, trying to, understand their life situations or their path or their purpose, like I said, you literally could have people in your energy, whether this is at your job, like you could be at your job minding your business, and you could have people at your job trying to get you to do things you don't want to do, right? Trying to get you involved in gossip or trying to get you involved in, bullying and things like that. Like you do not want to do that. And usually when this happens, it usually happens in a group of 2s, 3s, 4s, or more. While you're the individual dealing with the attacks, it's almost like, why does it always take a group of people to try to take the collective down? And it never works. Okay, guys, it never works, right? So the last couple of cards here, we have Four of Cups energy. Like I said, for some of you guys, this is about clarity. Okay, so if you were feeling in certain situations that you were feeling indifferent, okay, there was something about feeling, discontent, right? Some of you guys could have felt disconnected when it came to the energies that were literally around you, okay? Fourth house talks about, matters in the home. So this could be some of you guys, the reason why maybe some of you guys could feel, disconnected with certain people when it comes to matters of the home. It's because of the fact that when it comes to your roots, right, when it comes to domestic matters, because domestic matters talks about in the home, and I'm not talking about, for example, trigger warning, I'm not talking about abusive situations. I mean matters in the home, foundations. You could be dealing with certain situations where whether it's parents or guardians or, mother energy, children, whatever the case is, there's something about you receiving clarity or having awareness about a situation, and you are choosing happiness rather than, like I said, dealing with this conflict, whatever this is. It's almost like if people want to battle their own issues, let them battle them on their own. That is their problem. It is not your job to heal everybody, okay? Some of you guys are actually healers. You guys are empaths. You guys are very deep, emotional type of people, but it's also not your job to heal people who don't want to do the inner work. It's like people are so quick to point fingers at other people and say stuff about other people, but when's the last time you've ever noticed somebody sitting down and going within themselves? It's like you see yourself doing that, right? But what about other people? So even when it comes to certain conversations or matters that have nothing to do with you, you may look at certain people like, why do you keep bringing this up? Or why do you keep trying to force yourself, in the collective's energy? That could be significant too. It's like you're trying to focus on your own thing and mind your business. And you could have people trying to be so forceful with their energy, trying to pop up in areas where you don't want to see them or deal with them. That could be significant too. Even at work too. It's like, you ever been at work and you've dealt with somebody at your job where you're quiet and you just want to do your job, and you have that one person that's always bringing gossip in your energy, and you're just like, leave me alone. That could be you guys. You guys just want to be left alone, okay? Because it's like, your energy, that you don't tolerate crap from people, and people always get things misconstrued with you guys when it comes to your energy. It's like, you may look nice or kind, or you may look sweet, or, somebody that's very caring, but that doesn't mean that you won't tell people to back off, right? Ten of Pentacles energy too. Like I said, there's something about being grateful, okay, when it comes to the abundance and stability that is in your life. Now, when it comes to 10 and feeling whole, right? There's something about 10th house where you guys could be stepping into a new career, okay? There's something about new success, new goals. This is new structures, okay? Things like that, okay? There's something about also long-term goals that you guys could be working on or working towards. And whatever this is that you guys are doing, because you guys received clarity about removing yourself from certain people, places, okay, energies, etc., there's something about you moving forward into a new cycle, a new beginning, that's allowing you to connect with your spirit, meaning that you are more in alignment, right, when it comes to your body, your mind, and spirit at this time. And this could also talk about your purpose unfolding. So whatever your purpose is, whether this is creatively, whether this is like a job, because again, not everybody wants to do creative things, right? I get that. Some people actually enjoy working 9 to 5, but it's as long as it's something that they find, purpose in. So, for example, people who enjoy taking care of people, duh, of course you would be a nurse. You know what I mean, guys? Like, no one's saying that 9 to 5 is a bad thing, but at the same time, it's the systems that are in place, it's the authorities that are there, and a lot of people try to take control of the collective instead of giving the collective what they deserve, especially if you're a hard worker or somebody that, enjoys your job. Doesn't matter if it's your path or not, you will always find ways to enjoy what it is that you do. And that could be very triggering to a lot of people who they don't find joy in life. You know what I mean? Like, the saying, guys, misery loves company. It's like, even if you don't have it all, you still will find ways to be happy. And that triggers a lot of people. Like I said, you can have, mental wealth. Okay, money does not have to be currency. It doesn't have to be about money or material. You being spiritually rich, it affects a lot of people who are not comfortable within themselves or even comfortable with the fact that, you don't care to have the newest car. You don't care to have the biggest home. You don't care to have 20 friends, okay? You don't care about how you show up about people. What you care about is what actually matters, right? So protecting children, protecting women, okay? Men also protecting children and women as well, okay? There's a lot of things that I see online right now that just give me the ick. And instead of people looking at the bigger picture, people are taking their personal issues and putting their opinions out there about certain topics and matters instead of actually looking at the bigger picture. Right now, there are certain things that are going on right now where kids are not being protected, women are not being protected, and also some men out there are trying really hard to assist in protecting those things, and then you have some men out there that are not. Okay, guys? And this goes for women as well. So nobody's safe, right? There are certain women out there too who kidnap kids. They do things to kids, or they kidnap people, or they do certain things that they should not be doing to people. And that is very significant too. Okay, so there are more important things out there in this world right now than what people are focusing on currently when it comes to like certain matters in the news. Okay, if it's celebrity news and things like that. Like some of you guys in the collective do not care about what celebrities have going on because right now people are going through important things right now in their own personal life. Okay, like, yes, you may hear certain things and you may speak up on certain things, but when it comes to things that actually matter, building community, building a safe place, building a safe haven for people who need it, that is also significant. At the bottom of the deck, we have 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so there is something about coming together when it comes to teamwork, like I said, with the number 3. Okay, something to do with teamwork. This is about effort. Okay, this is about pooling energy as well. Okay, so even if you feel like you're doing something by yourself, just know that the universe is supporting you and you are receiving support in that sense. Okay, judgment, right? You are pulling out the trumpet when it comes to judgment. Every time somebody does something or a collective of people does something for the collective, right? There's something about you pulling out the trumpet and playing out the trumpet. It's like the saxophone's getting louder, basically. Okay? You are somebody who forces people to reflect within themselves, okay? And you will call out what needs to be called out, especially with Pluto energy and especially with the full moon, okay, happening today, and it also transitioning into Scorpio energy. There's something about endings and new beginnings and stepping into your power, okay, with the number 20. This is also talking about with the number 20, divine timing, emotional acceptance, and also when it comes to reflection through relationships and higher compassion. There's something about being the mirror, and also when it comes to reflection of source, that is very significant when it comes to divine partnerships. Okay, last but not least, we have Knight of Wands energy. Like I said, 12s are very significant. It's almost like as much as you pursue your passions with confidence, you know that you are taking a risk, but without risk, there's no reward for some of you guys that understand that meaning. Okay, without taking risks, there is no reward. How do you not know that you will be rewarded for your efforts unless you don't take that risk? Okay, so take what resonates with that. Okay, we also have Five of Cups energy. You guys are healing. Okay, Mars and Scorpio too. You guys are healing. Okay, you were releasing anything that brings you sadness. Okay, and you are embracing healing for some of you guys. Okay, Four of Pentacles as well. Right? So there is something about your energy, like I said, when it comes to material, when it comes to possessions, you do not care about that. You care about things that matter more to you, okay? The Tower. Okay, so again, there's something about sudden changes, okay, transformations, like I said, and the High Priestess at the end of it all. You have intuition and you have inner knowing, okay, when it comes to this energy that you guys are either dealing with, whether this is people around you, this is environments that you guys are dealing with, okay, that is very significant. Okay, guys, so obviously take what resonates with you guys whenever you see this. I am going to end it here, though. But again, thank you guys for the support, okay, when it comes to following me on TikTok and YouTube. This message was a little bit heavier because, again, like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat certain things because certain things just need to be said, okay? And I feel like a lot of people are, like in the collective, are seeing a lot of things. And, you know, you guys could be trying to speak up on these things, but you may have people in your energy that it's almost like people just don't want to see the bigger picture. And there's certain things that are just beyond us, okay? Not everything is about us. And I know some of you guys are aware about this, but sometimes you guys are trying to like let people know this or remind people that not everything is about you. You know what I mean, guys? Like you may look at certain people and say, ew, like why do you make everything about yourself? There are certain things that are happening right now where you could be helping other people that actually need help. You know, like that actually need assistance emotionally, physically, you know, mentally, financially. Like you could be trying to help people that actually need help, and you could be dealing with people that are focusing literally on the wrong things right now. Okay, and that could be very irritating and frustrating for the collective because collectively we know what is important and we know what matters, and there's something about breaking that cycle as well, okay guys? But I'm going to end it here because the video is like 32 minutes. All right, but follow me on TikTok and YouTube, and my website is www.mysteriouslyunique.ca. You guys can book a reading or check out my blog. All right guys, but yeah, take what resonates in the message. Keep doing what it is that you guys are doing, especially if you are speaking up on certain matters or protecting a group or a collective of people that actually need it right now. Please continue to do what you guys are doing because you will find the people that you're supposed to find that actually want to help people the way that you want to help people. So some of you guys are humanitarians as well without even realizing it. Okay, guys, but yeah. Right now the time is 10:10. So like I said, 10s are very significant. Angel number 1010. But I am going to end it here, guys. Thank you again. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys. Bye.